Okay, I think this week I am really just in the mood to read fantasy, and that is going to be rereading one of my favorites, and possibly, if I have time, reading another one. Both of these books are like 700 pages. And then I actually also started an audiobook, which I don't do audiobooks all the time, but I have started to commute again to work, so. But it is July, which means I have plotted out when, at the very least, I need to read the next ACOTAR book for my reread for the next books to come out. Anyway, I had this whole thought the other day about ACOTAR, where it's like when I started reading these, I was kind of close in age to the characters, especially like, I don't know, by the time I read A Court of Silver Flames, like I was really close in age to Nesta, if not the same age, which like I appreciate because everyone's usually like a teenager, 18, 19. So when someone is like 25 plus, I love it, which I was. Maybe not quite when I read Silver Flames. I don't know. But like I had this thought the other day, and it literally made me like tear up that I'm continuing to get older because we had to wait 5 years for the next book. I am continuing to get older and these characters are staying the same age. That's so sad because like they're immortal as well. Anyway, the book that we're on now is I started rereading A Court of Wings and Ruin. In my mind, I came to peace with like never getting an update on this series and like everyone was safe, everyone was okay. And I'm terrified. I'm absolutely terrified. You don't understand. It brings me so much happiness and this like will to live that there's a new book coming out, but it has sent me into like deep anxiety. I don't want anything bad to happen. Anyway, if I can get through this book, I'm gonna get through it, but ideally I would love to get, you know, this video only take, you know, so many days. If I can finish this one in time, I'm thinking maybe potentially, if I am not burnt out on fantasy, which hopefully not because this is a reread, maybe picking up the next book in the Plated Prisoner series. This is the, hello? It doesn't say what number book this is. It's the second to last book. Then the audiobook I'm listening to right now, I gave it a couple chapters before I decided if I wanted to keep going. And I think at this point, like I'll probably just keep listening to it on my drive. And it is called A Deal with the Shadow King. It's like a standalone interconnected fantasy book. And now I listen. I know that I said I was not starting a new fantasy series until I finished a couple, but like that's different. You know, audiobooks are a little bit different. And it's a standalone. That's different. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna get to reading. I have already kind of started, but you're gonna see clips of like the beginning of the book probably. I am on chapter 12 when, do I even say what's happening while I'm reading this book? Because I don't want spoilers. Let's just say Feyre is in the Autumn Court right now, and is about to run into some people that she cares about. I'm gonna cry. Literally, anytime I mention this series or I'm rereading it or reading the new books, it's just gonna make me crying. Okay.
If you could stay another minute and just hold me close to you. Don't wanna waste another second. I can feel you want this too. Lost track of time, right in the moment. I never felt like this with anyone. If you could stay another minute, I will do.
Oh.
'Cause all I need is right beside me, and I don't want you to go. I'm being selfish, I know, but it's something that
Okay, it's been a couple days and I wanted to bring up a couple little things, but I don't think I'm gonna do a ton of like conspiracizing right now. Okay, the first thing is where I'm at. I am right before part 3, and right after the High Lord meeting where something breaks as they're leaving. So then like obviously the battles and stuff is about to take place, kind of dreading it because of a certain scene, even though we know everything's okay afterwards. I'm gonna look at my notes, but I definitely don't want to get too into conspiracy theories right now, or like not conspiracy, like I guess theories. I will say when I do get to theories, I had this like little miniature journal. It is a Fourth Wing journal. Like the side and everything has like the dragons on it. But I thought, how fun would it be? And like, I have it color coded right now, just ACOTAR ones in there, but like, I have theories for the next book. But I'm going to use this for theory. Like, I'm going to put like Fourth Wing theories in here. It's just my theory book. That's how locked in I am. And I'm not a big like theory person when I'm reading. I kind of just read and enjoy it. I try not to think too much because I just want to have fun while I'm reading it. But Fourth Wing is like the first series that I started reading as it came out. I'm like, I get it release day, I read it, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then ACOTAR, I read them all years ago, and now I've had to wait 5 years. So it's like, those two, it's a little easier to kind of like theorize on because we're actively waiting for them. I have a couple of random notes that I've been taking in my phone. I said a couple. But like the theory ones, I think I'm going to save, but here's some really random ones. Azriel likes goat cheese, and I put like a little smirk emoji. I love goat cheese. I say everything is just a vessel to get goat cheese to my mouth. So, I love that for me and Azriel. And that's not like canon. It literally in the book said he put goat cheese on his food, and I was just like, I love that. So let me delete that one so I don't say it again, because I have a bad habit of doing that. Oh, Feyre loves relationship drama. Well, not drama, but like she wants to be matchmaker. Like, I think Feyre would love those like reality dating shows, but also despise them. She'd be like, there's real problems in this world and this is happening, but she would like eat it up at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, she'd be that girl. Like I said, she would love the relationships, but hate the obscenity. Okay, the rest of them are kind of theories, and I'm gonna wait to go over those probably at the end. I don't think it'll take me too long. I'm trying to like keep it low key and probably only read the ones that I've taken while reading A Quarter Wings and Ruin, and then probably go over like bigger theories like this closer to the release, like maybe when I'm reading or rereading A Court of Silver Flames, maybe. But I also feel like there's gonna be a lot of things that I see in A Court of Silver Flames that are probably going to open up a lot of windows for what I will think will happen in the next book, but we'll see. I'm kind of hoping to finish this book. I would love to finish it today. Might not happen. Probably finish it tomorrow. The problem is like I have so much I need to get done this week, and I wanted to read another book in this video, but I work 7 days this week, and then I work potentially 7 next week. Like, I very well may be working for the next 20 days straight. So, wish me luck, and I hope I finish this book soon.
So I'm letting you know that there's nothing I couldn't do. I will walk through a fire, run through a storm, on the highest mountain I do. Anything
It's something different this time. Okay, it's been a couple days, and I have finished ACOTAR, or A Court of Wings and Ruin. I wasn't really prepared to talk about this right now, but I'm in like a really bad mood tonight, and sometimes when I'm in a funk and I'm sitting in my house silently, sometimes sitting down and doing this really helps because one, it's taking my mind off of whatever. I get to talk about something I love, which is books, and obviously my cats will probably walk up, which is the other thing I love most in the world. And I am gonna save my little notebook of theories, probably, like, those are like bigger theories, I think, that I've collected over like a little while, and then some theories I've seen online, but I write in my journal like, oh, this is my theory, or this is from so-and-so. But I do have some notes I took in my phone while reading this book specifically that I want to talk about. So let's see, it's a bit, it's quite a lot. So like general theories that I have for the next ACOTAR book, some are like pretty obvious, like we'll probably obviously see this or do that, but you know, like they're just thoughts that I have and we're just talking, we're pals. So the first one I have is, I think we might get more information about the other fairy lands, like the other fairy, like the fairy realm with the 3 other, like Rask, Monastery, and Valahan. I don't know if that's how you say that. I think we're gonna get more information, and definitely like it's close enough to travel to, like Rhys could winnow Lucian there. Like, it's very manageable. So I definitely have some thoughts there. And then I have a couple random notes that I specifically pulled about Azriel, because it is very likely that if the book is not specifically about him or his point of view, I think he's going to be very prominent in it. So I have a couple random notes about Azriel. I have one, I literally typed this out. I said, I don't care about Azriel books being spicy. I'll enjoy it, of course, but I want plot. I want answers. Like, sometimes I go back and forth with being like, wow, Silver Flames really like took a turn. But Sarah J. Maas was older, the character she was writing about was older, and I do think, like, it's very interesting because I feel like we hear a lot about characters, especially some male characters, really going through, like, intimate stuff, especially when something's wrong. So seeing a female character go through that and being self-destructive and all that, and also, like, watching the most recent interview with Sarah J. Maas, knowing where her headspace was while writing that, like, it makes sense. Like, that was, you know, Nesta and Cassian have a very different relationship to Feyre and Rhys, and that's fine, and that's great. I don't want the same relationship over again. But I don't know about, like, is Asriel's book going to be spice-driven? I don't think I particularly want that. I think there's so many unanswered questions when it comes to some of the other characters, like Asriel and Mor and Lucien and Vassa and Eris. Like, I feel like could there be spice? Of course. Will I read it? I'll eat it up. I need answers. Okay, here we get down to writing page numbers, because I was like, I need people to know exactly what I'm talking about. I said on page 337, Elaine is telling the inner circle about what she's been seeing, because it's the first time that they're realizing that she's a seer. Sorry, this autocorrect. Seer. And what she can't tell them, what she doesn't know. Oh, no. And what she can't tell them about what she doesn't know, she says it's all mist and shadow. I think there's a couple, like, it autocorrected what I was trying to say, but, like, you can go to the page. And I'm like, okay, mist and shadows. Like, is this like a potential, could Elaine and Asriel use their powers together? And then right after that, on page 338, it says Lucien's eye can see things that others can't. So it's like Asriel and Lucien both have these ties that at times I've been like, ooh, that's very, like, mate kind of, you know, but they both had it, so very interesting. But with Lucien, there was also Lucien and Vassa, because, let me see, I wrote it down. She's the bird of flame and he's the lord of fire. She's the bird of day and he's the heir to day court. Hello? I don't know if I already said this. I also think the point of view, now that we're switched, like, the initial trilogy was obviously from Feyre's point of view. And then we move into third person for Silver Flames, but it's just bouncing between, like, Nesta and Cassian. I wonder if for the next couple books, because they are bigger and there's so many unanswered questions and so many characters that deserve so much attention, but I don't know if she'll write that many more books for the series. I really wonder if she's going to jump back into doing kind of, like, third person, but the way she did in Throne of Glass, where it followed many of them. And it's like, I love the way that Sarah J. Maas wrote Throne of Glass. Like, the way she wrote third person for Throne of Glass, it felt so intimate despite being third person that it didn't feel like, it felt like first person, but you were also getting, like, a wider scope. Like, it was amazing. Like, I won't hate it, you know, if she does that. On page 460, Rhys and Feyre are talking about Mor and Asriel, and there's a quote, and it says, "There will come a day when Asriel has to decide if he's going to fight for her or let her go, and it won't be because some other male insults her or beds her." Tying back to, I think there's going to be a big sacrifice in the next book or two. And I think because there's so many open-ended things and so many potential love triangles and mate mysteries, I really think that a character, like, I really could see Lucien sacrificing himself for Elaine or even Asriel, and it'd be like this beautiful thing that he sacrificed himself for someone who could be his friend as well, like Asriel. Like, Lucien could be very integral to the Night Court now. Or I really could see Nesta and Cassian sacrificing themselves. They tried to do it in A Court of Wings and Ruin. I really can see, like, there's so many unanswered questions about Eris. I'm an Eris stan. Sorry, until proven otherwise. I really could see him sacrificing himself for Lucien. I could see, because Asriel, like, it's such a weird thing with Asriel, he's been in love with the same woman for, like, 500 years. For him to just all of a sudden fall in love with someone else and suddenly potentially have more than one option, I see it very likely that he be the one to sacrifice himself for his family, and I don't want any of those things to happen, by the way. I'm just saying, I feel like if there's going to be, like, a main character, I feel like it's, instead of just, like, we're in a war, you get, I think it's going to be a beautiful, heart-wrenching sacrifice. You know, like they're saving someone else in doing it, and I'm terrified. I am so excited for these books, but I have not known anxiety like this for a book in a long time. And then I can't remember, because I haven't read Silver Flames in a couple years. I'm going to continue reading. I have the novella and then Silver Flames. But Briar, the human woman that gets rescued from the Hybern camp, who is being tortured, she did get sent off, I guess, with the Winter Court, so she doesn't have to be that prominent, but when she first showed up and we were even told her name, I'm like, she has to be prominent, or like significant, right? So I'm very curious about that. If she's not, she's not, but you know, like it was random to introduce her and then hand her over to the Winter Court, and also at that time be like, oh, Vivian has a twin sister, and then just never never be brought up again. And also, okay, unpopular opinion, I do not understand why people hate Elaine. I think the way people hate Elaine is because it turned into like a trendy social media thing to say. I don't think there's genuine reasons to hate her. I feel like if you want to base it off of like the poverty they were in when they were younger and leaving everything on Feyre's shoulders, I think it's terrible. I at the end of the day, it was a plot set up so Feyre was in the woods to start this whole story. Sorry, grow up a little bit, you know what I mean? I don't understand the hate. Is she my favorite character in the book? No. But rereading this, I'm like, I kind of feel like Elaine could be a really cool character when she's given the time. And so I do not understand the hate. I'm excited for more of her, actually. Thank you. And I will talk more about that probably after I read Silver Flames, because that's obviously the latest book. She's going to be in it a bit. And I was remembering some things that I couldn't remember, like little things that I couldn't remember if they came from Wings and Ruin or Silver Flames. And now I've read Wings and Ruin. I'm like, oh, okay, I think like this little plot point about like Lucian and Jurian and Vasa going off. I thought that happened here, but like apparently that kind of happens in Silver Flames. It's okay, I got confused. It's been a couple of years. I'll tell you what, the scene that gets me every time, and I have many favorite scenes throughout these books and ones that I'll reread. The one I think about very often, don't get me wrong, I think about romance and like love scene, not like intimate scenes, but like the beautiful love story scenes of like, oh, this is when they knew they fell in love, or like this beautiful thing happened. I think about those all the time. But to me, a love story and the love between platonic characters and family is just as important to me. And the scene where Feyre, Nesta, and Elaine all lay down and fall asleep, like curled together the night before the battle, it gets me every time. It gets me every single time. That's one of my favorite scenes in the whole series. And I'm gonna start crying. Okay, here's the question. Now, I can't remember where Nala and Ceridwen, what are they? Are they a fae, or are they're not wraiths, are they? I can't remember because I think it was in the last book. They're kind of like shadow beings, no? Like, can't they travel like through walls and all this and that? Now, I could be mistaken. This is very like, if I'm wrong, completely ignore this one. But if they are kind of like shadow beings, what if as is shadows, or like there's a whole shadow world of like a community of those people? Because obviously his shadows report back to him. Are they just shadows in his mind, or are they people or like creatures like that? And that is the most I have for theories right now. Not to mention my like longer overall plot theories that are in that notebook, and we will talk about those closer to the book release. These were just kind of ones I thought of whilst reading this book, like actively like, oh, this page, set the book down, take the note. Other ones have been like festering, and they're like longer theories, and we'll get to those later. But so I did start Gold, which is the 5th book in the Plated Prisoner series. I started that yesterday, and I read like 115 pages, and I don't know how many I read today. Let me check. And I've read to page 187 today. This is a big book. Like, you know when people bind series together and it makes like those big thick books? I opened to the first page, and that's what it looked like. I was like, had this on a table, and I was like reading it like this. Anyway, I will talk about this later. It is kind of late at night. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the rest of my depressed night, but maybe read a little bit more. I do have work tomorrow, kind of dreading that. I don't know how much reading I'll get done this weekend. So this video is probably going to take a little longer to film, but now that I've started this and I'm almost 200 pages in, I don't want to commit to just putting it in the video. You know what I mean? And spoiler alert, I am filming this after I started this book, obviously, but you're going to see this before. It's going to be out of order, but the montage you're going to see was filmed after. Anyway, there was a World Cup game today. England lost, unfortunately, but me and Freddie Boy did go over to my parents' house to watch it. So there's going to be some random clips of Freddie at Grandma and Grumpy's. I'm dreading work tomorrow. I feel depressed tonight. I also, here's the thing. I want to bring up this little thing about ACOTAR in general. I love it. And even the first time I read it, this happened, and it's happening again. When I try to explain to people, like, oh, this book destroys me, this series destroys me, people are like, then why do you read it? I'm like, no, you don't understand. It is my favorite. It feel like I can't explain the feelings that it gives me, but it sends me into this, like, deep depression. Like, I adore it. I love it. It's my favorite thing in the world. I would read it over and over and over and over again, but it sends me into such a deep depression because it's not real. Because, like, Reese and Feyre are not real. And here's the thing. I love Reese. Reese was fully like the first fictional character I fell in love with, despite being fictional. But it was like one of those things. I love Reese and Feyre so much that if Reese was standing in my living room and he was like, I love you, I'd be like, no, 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 no. Where's Feyre? Like, you guys are meant, like, I love Reese so much, but Reese and Feyre, like, how did I get here? Oh yeah, it sends me into like a depression because I love it so much. Also, justice for Lady of the Autumn Court. I hope her and Helion get together. What if he sacrifices himself for her because he couldn't save her from Baron the first time? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well.
Hey, where did you go? Oh.
I think the world can wait a second. We can let it go this time. Just for a while, just for a moment. We should just hide away from everyone. I wanna lay beneath the covers, just you and I. All I need is right beside me, and I don't want you to go. I'm being selfish, you know, but it's something that I can't control. So I'm letting you know that there's nothing I wouldn't do. I will walk through a fire, run through a storm, on the highest mountain. I do anything for you.
It has been literally, it's been at least over a week, 2 weeks. I don't know if I really updated you anything about Gold other than the fact that maybe I started it. Honestly, I think I already mentioned in this video, I started a new job, so now I again have 2 jobs and I am working 6 to 7 days a week. This week I think I only work 5. Crazy week. But also last week, just some stuff happened and I was already not doing like mentally great. And then some stuff definitely happened. Just some stuff that I didn't expect to deal with. And then also like really some like internal personal things like that I have decided to seek treatment for. I've said it many times. I have OCD and it's bad, and it's like starting to like be so like, I knew that I've had OCD forever, and there are some things that I've always known were OCD, but there are some things that I had no idea were not normal to other people, and it is starting to not only flare up but ruin my day-to-day life. When I had been managing it okay at the beginning of the year, I'm starting to realize that even what I thought I was managing was not normal. So mentally been like so bad. and haven't been wanting to read, haven't read that much. I think for an average person, reading a book for 2 weeks is totally normal, totally fine. I feel like I've been reading this book for 6 months. And it's not a bad book, but I wanted to update you really quick before I finish it, because I think I might finish it tomorrow. I have a little over 100 pages left, and also, hello? It's big. Let's see. I definitely have some notes in my phone. Let me go grab that. Okay, I know that people talk about this a lot, but like, why does everybody, and granted, Slade gave RN a nickname. It is Goldfinch. But there's been like this thing I've seen a lot recently where it's like, why does everyone have to have like, it's like they make these pet names hoping that it takes off and it turns into like this crazy thing, and it just like, it doesn't need to all the time. And people are like, what happened like saying baby and stuff? Like, I feel like that just doesn't happen in fantasy books. But no one says baby quite like Slade. Because he does, and it like makes him seem almost less fictitious because of that. I think the biggest takeaway from this book, obviously, like, the plot is, there's, like, this big separation. Like, literally. No, I don't want to give you too many spoilers. Here's a note that I took fairly early on, but still very accurate. It says, I feel like a lot of the time we don't get to see the extent of someone rage when their love is taken from them, but then we have Slade, who's behaving like a psychopath. This is definitely something, I know the last book ended with him literally being like, oh, no, like, I will actually, like, burn the world for you. Like, and I know that that's a big topic of discussion of, like, is the hero or the villain better? Because, like, the hero would sacrifice you to save the world, but the villain would, like, take everyone out for you. It's, like, definitely, like, one of those books where it's like, oh, no, he would, like, do anything. Except he won't, because he's not gonna hurt innocent people, because he knows that that's not what she would want. I will say, I did accidentally, I made it through this whole book, and I was okay, and then I was flipping through to kind of see, what are, like, the next POVs coming up, because I just went, like, 100 pages without one person's POV. But not in a bad way. We're getting so much of Queen Melina in this book, and I like it. Her growth is good. Her self-acknowledgement is good. But then when I was flipping through to see when we get next, like, Oren's next POV, I saw a major spoiler about who someone's parent is. How did I go this whole time in this whole series without... So I would like to finish this tomorrow, and then I will come back and kind of wrap up what I was talking about. So sorry this video is taking so long to get up, because I... was not well, and I'm also like physically sick right now. I didn't think I was sick. I thought I like had cried my throat raw and then just had like a dry cough after that, but it's going on like a lot longer than I thought. So okay, it has been a couple days since I finished both of these ginormous effing books. That's insane. This one was 699 pages, and this is 747, I think. To be fair, for me personally, I can read both of these very quickly. They're just writing that I like, authors that I like. The print in this one is, like, huge. And then this was a reread, but I almost was reading it more closely this time around because I wanted to, like, find little things. You are so cute. Yeah, I wanted to find some more things to, like, because the last time I read this book, there was already another book out. Like, Silver Flames was already out, so I knew that I could just jump into that one. Had no idea that I would have to wait 5 years, so I didn't think, rereading is so fun, especially when an author is so good at foreshadowing. And then this book is the second to last book. I believe it was supposed to be the last book, and then she felt like it just needed more. So this is definitely a filler book, but there's still a lot of things that happen, a lot of twists, and I think it was a good filler book. I think it sets up the last one well, because this whole time it's been leading, as series do, the whole time it's been leading up to this last book. And like, this is one of those series, like, the series itself is in no way similar to Throne of Glass, but similar in the sense that the plot, the world, the characters, everything is so different in those first couple books that by the time you get to the last book, where there are fae everywhere, stuff like that, is very reminiscent of Throne of Glass. Not similar in any other way, though. So I'm very interested and excited to read the last book. I'm terrified because this author has killed off people before, as has this one. So
I don't think I've mentioned it yet, but if I haven't, or if I have, I'm just going to say it again. I have started making a bingo card, and I'll probably post it here and elsewhere, I guess, for things that are going to happen in the next 2 releases. I've probably got half of it filled out on my reread so far, and a lot of it's going to come from, like, the second half I'm going to fill out after reading Silver Flames, because that's the most recent. That starts to set up other characters having their own stories, stuff like that. That was my reading fantasy for a week. I did not finish the audiobook I started. It's not that it's bad, it's that I listen to it once a week for maybe 20 minutes, so I've not locked in yet. And so I just haven't finished it. I'm still listening to it. It's not like a DNF thing. It's nothing wrong with it. It's a me thing. If you couldn't tell, I'm sick. I'm also about to go into work early, and I'm there alone today because I am loyal to a fault. And I said yes.